Hi, I'm Sandy Ames, hypnotherapist, and this video is all about as if you were going to come in for a session to quit smoking. Actually, the way we do it is you do 2 sessions. We do the first one, and on that first day, you become a permanent ex-smoker. And then after about a week or so, you'll come in, we'll clean up anything we may have missed, and we send you on your way. Now, before anybody comes in to become a permanent ex-smoker on the day they come in, first we check how much are you smoking already. If it's a pack or less, this is going to be pretty smooth sailing. If it's more, then I'm going to have you look at your Prepare to Quit Smoking guide, and you're going to go over that and do some fun things to help yourself quit smoking. It may take a week or 2 depending on where you're at, but then after that week, we take you all the way into becoming a permanent ex-smoker by simply following very few steps, exactly the way I give you the steps, and it takes you just a little while to fill out the paperwork for yourself if you're not coming in for a session. If you do come in for a session, we go over it, we look at your answers, we look at where's the truth and where are we trying to fool ourselves, and we get deep into what's really going on. But perhaps you can do this yourself, and that's what this video is about. You're going to fill out some questions and answers which are for yourself. You're going to find your own answers. If you need my help with it, you can certainly come in for a session. Go to sandyameshypnotherapy.com. If you're in New York or anywhere near the city, you can come in person. Otherwise, I do FaceTime and Zoom calls on a regular basis all over the world. I've got clients in California and Florida and London, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes even clients in New York would prefer to just stay at home because parking isn't always the greatest. So find out where you are. If it's more than a pack a day, you're going to follow the Prepare to Quit guidelines that I have all free on my website, sandyameshypnotherapy.com. All of these PDFs are free, so you don't have to scramble and write things down as you're watching this. Watch this, get an idea of what's going on, and then you're going to do it all by yourself. It doesn't take very long. Okay, so the first thing when you prepare to quit, I'm looking right at my computer here, okay? It says, number 1, first you have to follow these step by step. Do this the way I'm telling you. Thousands of people have done this exactly like this, and they become a permanent ex-smoker. And the thing about quitting smoking combined with hypnosis, which of course you can download the MP3 at sandyameshypnotherapy.com. When you combine it with hypnosis and you listen to your MP3, it seals it in. So that's where you get past that white knuckling part of trying to quit, which if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you've already gone through a little bit of that yourself. Number 1, first take a pocket-sized card or just a little piece of paper and write down, I'm reading straight from the Quit Smoking Guide. You can look at this with me if you want, download it for free. It says, write down your most important reasons for quitting. Keep this with you, look at it often. It's a reinforcement for you. I often say to people, keep it right by your bed. So it's the first thing you see when you wake up, and it's the last thing you see before you go to bed. And if you have your phone by your bed, please, at least 45 minutes before bed, no screens, no social media. Say hi to Petey. Petey never looks at screens before bed, and look how pretty he is. It just clears you up inside and out. So keep that index card or a little piece of paper and look at it often. You can even take a picture of it, look at it on your phone throughout the day. That's your thing. That's sort of your vision board, okay? And what you're writing down is your most important reasons for quitting. And what I like to add to that is your most important reasons for quitting now. And see if that makes a difference for you. Number 2, as you follow this step by step, choose a place to smoke in or around your home that is the least comfortable place you can think of to smoke. This is the only place in your home you're going to smoke for this final week of smoking. Isn't it nice to know that as you've become a permanent ex-smoker, you still get a week to smoke a little bit. By the end, you're not even going to want to, maybe even in the beginning. Think about this clearly now. From this moment on, you no longer smoke for pleasure. You're smoking to quit. Now move all your smoking paraphernalia, such as ashtrays, lighters, to that one spot. Now this helps by making it more inconvenient to smoke. Limit smoking in the car, limit smoking at work to absolute minimums. Think before you smoke, do I really want it? Or am I just reaching for it out of habit? Do not smoke out of habit. Only smoke if it is a real physical need. And when you fill out your answers on one of the intake PDF that you can download for free at sandyameshypnotherapy.com, you're going to try and figure out for yourself, is this for reasons of stimulation, or am I doing this for coping? Is it a habit? Is nicotine a physical addiction? okay? If you can figure out these things for yourself, and you're intelligent, and likely you can, then you're not gonna need me. Use this program. It's a complete guide to quit smoking with hypnosis. And if you feel like you need to come in for a session to do it in person, absolutely, that's what I'm available for, okay? So see if you can figure that out. Number 3, get rid of all brands of cigarettes that you now smoke. Throw them away where you cannot retrieve them. You will no longer be smoking any of your regular brands of cigarettes. Search out and discover and discard any of all hidden cigarettes you may have lurking around the couch, in the refrigerator, okay? Number 4, and you gotta follow this step by step. Make a commitment to only buy cigarettes during this final week. 1 pack at a time. You absolutely will not buy another pack until the one before is completely gone. And this is key. Each time you buy a new pack, you got to change the brand to a brand that you don't like. This is very important. Remember, only buy a new pack when the one before is completely gone. I'm reading this straight from the Quitting Smoking Prepare to Quit guide. It's free on my website. Number 5, the final week. Cut the cigarettes in half. Only smoke the filtered half. Also, smoke the cigarettes in the opposite hand than you normally would. And now it says right here, you're probably thinking, what's this all about? It's about behavior modification. We break some subconscious behaviors associated with smoking. And it says, believe me when I tell you that you must follow these steps exactly in order to maximize your success. So don't skip any steps. You see why we keep repeating that, because it's really important. And this is tried and true for thousands and thousands of people. Number 6, limit alcohol consumption. And this gives the reason why. Number 7, reduce caffeine consumption. This gives reasons why. Number 8, you got to get plenty of rest, right? Your body heals during rest. And by the way, you also lose weight in a restful state. That's a different video, but that's something you may want to know. Number 9, increase your intake of water. And it says natural fruit juices, but you know that fruit juice has a lot of sugar, so be cool about that. At least the first week of being smoke-free, pick up a good quality B complex vitamin supplement. Make sure you get your doctor's approval. Start taking this the week before and continue this while you quit, and it can help the body deal with stress. 10, this is the last one. Tell everyone, all your friends, family members, that you want to quit, that you are quitting on your quit date, and then post it on social media. You're going to make a public commitment. This works. And now we're going to get to the intake form. Through this intake form, it's free PDF, download on the site, sandyameshypnotherapy.com. You're going to figure out, is this stimulation for me? After you answer these questions for yourself. And if it is, well, what else can you do for stimulation, right? Because nicotine is a stimulant. So you can have an energy drink, hopefully not too close to bed. You can exercise, right? Whatever it is that you find stimulating, write down your own list. And instead of smoking, those are things you're going to replace it with. Now, if you've ever studied habit control in general, the first step you will always take is find a replacement. Eventually, you won't need that replacement necessarily, although if exercise is your replacement, how about making that a lifetime habit, right? If it's for coping, you're going to learn some deep breathing techniques in the MP3 that you download at sandyameshypnotherapy.com. If this is a habit, you can add to it, especially if you're smoking more than a pack a day. Follow the steps, but you can add more barriers. So you can put the cigarettes in Ziploc bags and rubber bands and more Ziploc bags and more rubber bands, because it's a habit, so you're breaking the habit, which is why smoking brands you don't like, cutting them in half, smoking it with the other hand, it's all part of breaking those habits. Listening to the MP3 every day for 30 days is important. We're working on a subconscious level, and that's the difference between white knuckling this and doing this through hypnosis. And you're gonna do this for yourself. And is this a chemical addiction? Is this a nicotine addiction? And if so, do you know how long it takes for a chemical addiction to leave your body? Generally, it takes 3 days. So be easy on yourself. See if you can figure out which one of these mostly fits you, and a lot of people have a combination. Is it stimulation? Is it coping? Is it a habit? Is it a chemical addiction to nicotine? When you've answered those questions and figured this out for yourself, you can help yourself then find your own replacements. So when you listen to the MP3, well, if you were with me, we would customize your hypnosis, but the MP3 generally includes all of these things, so really focus on the one that's right for you to make the changes you need to become a permanent ex-smoker as of today. All right, so I'm going to my computer. Here, I'm looking at the screen, and these are your intake questions. I'm not going to go through all of them because you'll download this. You'll write down your answers because it actually makes a difference for you to write them down. Yes, you can type them on your computer too, that's fine, but if you can write them down, I like that even better. For example, why do you want to stop smoking? Do you really want to stop smoking? If your wife or your husband sent you here, that's an issue. You got to make sure that this is something that you want to change because it's part of your belief system. If you were to come in person, I would show you exactly how the belief systems work in your mind and in your body and how they were formed from the very beginning. Here on the video, I'll do a small explanation, and I'm going to write it down as well and then show you the video of what I've written down right here. A couple other questions you'll be filling out. There are a lot more than this. How many cigarettes do you smoke a day? Do you smoke them all the way down? What brand? I'm skipping questions. When do you smoke? What are your triggers for smoking? In the car, work, party, after a meal, an argument, celebration. What do you like and dislike about smoking? Fears about stopping smoking. Someone you know who's become ill and lost their lives due to smoking. You'll write that down. Some questions about why you smoke. Is it anger or boredom? Are you just handling it and enjoying how it feels in your hand? Like I'm enjoying this pen right now. I'll put that down. Do you smoke to stimulate yourself or perk yourself up? What will it look like and feel like as a permanent ex-smoker? These are some of the questions you'll find on the intake form, free for download at sandyameshypnotherapy.com. Do this, but make sure you download the MP3, because when you've gone through all these questions and written down your answers and analyzed where do I fit into this big picture, you're going to listen to that MP3 for 30 days, because right now you become a permanent ex-smoker, but you still get to smoke a little bit for a week, or you don't have to. And then for the next 30 days, this is going to seal it in and seal it in until it becomes you. And it really doesn't take long for that to happen, but please do follow these steps. All right. Now you have a promise of action. Download this on the website. And then you fill out your name. Do hereby promise myself that as of this date, I shall promise and commit myself to be free and quit smoking completely and remain a permanent ex-smoker. And then you sign your name and you put the date, which is your quit date. And if you can have a witness sign this too, even better. Also free for download. You can see all of the disgusting chemicals that are in cigarettes, and you can also download the benefits of quitting smoking. All free in PDF form at sandyameshypnotherapy.com. How does this work? How does hypnotherapy help me become a permanent ex-smoker so it becomes me and I'm no longer fighting hard and wishing I could really smoke? Because you will get to a point, and it won't take long, where you look back at this old repulsive habit. You say, well, I remember that I used to do that. I remember that I used to enjoy it, and it served a purpose, sort of, for protection, which I realize completely is in conflict with this me, with this healthy me moving forward. It is in conflict with this image I have of who I am and who I am becoming. I remember that I used to do it, and now, I just don't really care that much anymore. And that's what listening to the MP3 for 30 days is going to do for you. And here I'm going to explain how this works in changing belief systems. It changes who you are and what runs you. And what runs you is making different choices. This is called the theory of mind. Okay, so this is your mind. And it looks like a blank slate, but for everyone that's not true, because we all come in wired, which is why siblings grow up in the same house and can be so different, right? So you're wired with your primitive mind, and this is fight or flight. That's part of your primitive mind. So say you're a caveman, and you're sleeping in your cave, and you've got your spear next to you, and the big animal comes, and he's going to get you without even thinking. You're going to wake up and grab that spear, and what? You're going to fight. You're going to throw it at the animal. Okay, well now it breaks and it falls down, so you don't have a spear anymore. What are you going to do? Flight. Okay, so our first instinct, naturally, from our primitive mind, is to fight. The second is to run, is to flight, right? So now you're running and this big animal's gaining on you and he's gonna get you. You only have one chance to live. If you were in this situation, you would actually do this, but think, can you figure out what you would do at this point? Because really there's only one possibility of maybe getting out of this. You're gonna play dead, right? So that's the third F, which is freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze, play dead. In today's society, we are still wired exactly the same, but the rules are different. You can't punch someone in the face. You can't throw a spear at someone, not legally anyway. So the landlord comes knocking on the door and you can't knock him out, but you still have that fight energy. Where does it go? Where does today's fight go? This is huge. Inside. It becomes tension and anxiety. And now that builds up, right? So it's like the spear broke and the running away. What does that become? Well, that becomes having a drink. That becomes having a cigarette, okay? So it's self-soothing, which serves a purpose, but it's not the healthy way to do it, and now you know better. You understand that it is in conflict with you. It is in conflict with your immune system, and the organs and cells of your body are saying, no, they don't want this anymore. You know that there's a better way. So that flight of today, of having a drink, or in your case, somebody comes for weight loss, maybe it's eating too much or the wrong foods, and in this case, it's having a cigarette, which is self-soothing, but now you know better. And then when that becomes too much, what's today's play dead? What's today's freeze? Well, that would be alcoholism, overeating, obesity, or in this case, being a smoker, right? So for other people, for example, it's depression, right? Instead of sleeping to cope, now this is the play dead, sleeping a lot, right? So that's the ultimate effect of the initial taking tension and anxiety in. Now these are all learned behaviors because we're only born with two fears in this primitive mind. One of the fears is fear of falling, and the other is fear of loud noises. Anything other than those things are learned fears. So whatever it is that a smoker would want to compensate for, what a smoker would want to cope because of, those things are learned. Between the ages of 0 and 8, we take information literally. These are pluses and these are minuses, and this K is for known associations. Everything inside of here is what we know, and it's our life script. So, some people like dogs. For me, I was bit by a dog. I have a little scar on my pinky, so for me, dogs are there. I love birds. Other people are afraid of birds. Some people look at other people who have money and they don't like them for whatever reason, right? So money people are here, and then that person wins the lottery. Well, let's put that on hold for a second, because everything inside of here is familiar, and that is pleasure. So even if it's on the minus side, it's a negative thing, it's still in my life script. I know it, it's familiar, and that's pleasure. So everything out here is unfamiliar, and that is pain. So now you take that person who looks at other people who have money and they don't like them, that person wins the lottery. It's unfamiliar, it's pain. What story do you see on the news all the time? This person won $250 million and it's all gone. It's painful. So what we want to do is take these negative beliefs and make a belief change. And I'll show you how we do that through hypnosis, because all of this is 88% of your mind, and that's your subconscious mind, and that's what runs you. So this is obviously, if you've done the math, 12%. Your conscious mind, what's there? Logic, reasoning, analyzing, decision-making, and willpower. Willpower is a big one for somebody who wants to quit smoking. So now you've got an idea. Here's your idea light bulb. I want to quit smoking. And then you say, well, let me check my thinking mind. Is it logical? Yeah. Is it a reasonable request to quit smoking? Yeah. I've analyzed this, makes sense. I made a decision. I even quit smoking once for 6 months. But that's 12% of the mind. 88% is always going to win. So at some point, it's going to come back unless you change your belief about it. Here's how we do it. You say, I want to quit smoking. You go in. Your critical mind now is a block to your life script. Between 9 and 14, you develop like a, hey, wait a minute. That's why people say teenagers can be difficult, because they're like, I'm not going to take in that information you're just handing to me now. I'm going to think about this. I want to quit smoking. That's my idea. It's reasonable and logical. And now there's a bouncer. Here's the door. The door is locked tight. The bouncer says, hang on, let me check. Quit smoking. There's a negative. And it boots it out. Why? Because smoking is somewhere over here for you. And that could be coping, that could be stimulating, that could be social life, that can be a chemical addiction, whatever it is. I am getting something out of it right now. Okay? So you say, I want to quit smoking, it goes in, it checks, sees the minus, and boom, it boots it right out. You can try this. It may work for a little while, but this is always going to win. That's the part that runs you. That's the part that has your device that you're looking at right now at the particular angle that you like. Look at what you're wearing. That's the part that probably chose what you were going to wear and how you were going to wear it or why you like it. It's all in there, and it seems like it's not up to you because it's the part that runs you. So through hypnotherapy, what we do is, I like to say, we drug the bouncer, right? So now the critical factor sort of takes a rest. We go in and whoop, we shift a belief system If it seems that simple, it's because it is. But think about, how long have you been smoking? Probably years at this point. Give yourself 30 days to undo that, okay? And in these 30 days, we simply, through hypnosis, go in and boop, we shift the belief system. You have an idea to quit smoking? No problem. And then everything in your life is going to fit into this life script of you being a permanent ex-smoker. For more, go to sandyameshypnotherapy.com, and then you'll see, you can click the link where you can purchase the MP3 that you're going to listen to for 30 days. Make this commitment to yourself. You're worth it.